What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, back at it with another video. And I'm pretty sure you heard the news. Jujutsu Kaisen, the manga, is going to be ending in 5 more chapters. So I don't know if it's 5 more chapters after this new chapter we get this week, or if this new chapter is included in that. But with a lot of questions on the table, people are like, what? How in the world? Like, because we were, I think that a lot of people were kind of just all like, okay, well, the climax is happening this week currently, you know, but to be done in a couple of chapters after, it's insane. But this is from Miyamaro. Yege's message: the story will end in 5 more chapters. I'm only able to end the story in the way I wanted, thanks to the support and cooperation of all my readers. Thank you. I'm working hard to create a final chapter that will probably satisfy as many people as possible. So this is interesting. Also, there was a couple of pictures from the video game. So from the JJK Phantom Paradise game, Megami art, this looks dope. Nanami, that looks fire. Shoko with injured Yuji, Megami, and Maki in the background. So couple of questions, because shout out to Classic Man MD because he did a video on this. And this Twitter user brought up a couple of things. Hikari versus Urami, completely off screen. Yeah, what in the F happened to them? That's why people are just like, even if you gave a chapter to each one of these things that he mentioned, it's still like, okay, how is this gonna end? So we got the Hikari versus Urami. What's going on with that? Kenjaku returns hopes in the mud. I mean, yes, there's an aspect of it that feels like, yeah, Kenjaku, but we do have to understand that there's a possibility that there may be a lot more things presented in the anime. And I'm gonna give my thoughts on the end, on how I think it's gonna end, and it has to do with Kenjaku. It has to do with pretty much the entire manga, because it if it ends the way that I'm thinking, it actually would be kind of funny, and it would kind of stick to everything that's been going on. No merger. So this is another big thing. The merger. You know, if we're getting the climactic battle, and let's just say that it happens, the climax, bada bing, bada boom, and that's the next chapter, and that's chapter 1 out of 5. So after that, there's going to be 4 more. Let's just say at the end, Sukuna gets defeated and starts the merger. So you mean to tell me we're going to have 4 chapters to deal with whatever merger and whatever that's going to be and everything like that? I don't know, man. And so another point that was made was no Hean Era flashback, which would be such a waste. I feel like we may get at least 1 chapter. I think if we get 1 full chapter of the Hean flashback. So let's just say, boom, the climax happens this next chapter. Boom. Next chapter, we get the Hean Era flashback. All right, so then that would give us 3 chapters left. You know what I mean? Never saw Shoko do anything, and etc. Yeah, it's one of those things that Shoko was kind of presented as, you know, this super dope RCT user and things like that, and the points that she showed up, It's very, very interesting. Like I said, there could be a possibility that there is a lot more added into the anime to flesh out a lot of this stuff, you know? So those points are super, super dope. Now my thoughts on this is there's something that Kenjaku said, which goes with Kenjaku's death. For one, we have to think about the fact that Kenjaku had been around for a long time. And maybe it's just me, but his death is kind of funny. Like, and so let me see if I can Kenjaku talks about the merger chapters. Okay, so in chapter 202, he says, I wonder, this is what Kenjaku says. I wonder what form that would take. I feel like a toddler holding a crayon with a blank sheet of paper. Choso goes on to say, what do you want? Did I not just tell you, Kenjaku says? I mean, what's in it for you? Why are you doing this? And he's talking about the merger. And Kenjaku says, it just sounds fun, but I won't know whether or not it is until it's done. And he's just all like, what if the conglomeration of curse and energy ends up looking like a funny face? Wouldn't that be hilarious? So I want to say that may be more on brand with what the possible ending is going to be like. Because before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Yeah, these are not singles, these are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase all of that in the link in the description. And just, check it out, because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So anyways, guys, there is a pattern that has been going on in JJK. Whether that pattern be the good guys losing, whether that be people who had potential or certain storylines that narratively made sense was just cut short, like no more. That has all been a very consistent thing. And I think what Gege is trying to show, one, is to subvert our expectations. But I think that he is trying to replicate certain things when it comes to life, and how there could be a possibility that at the end of all this tragedy, all this stuff, there is just like a laugh. It's like sudden. So that's why with the 5 chapters, it's just all like, it may actually make sense. It may actually make sense. And I think that it has a lot to do with what Kenjaku said. Like, I think that the merger is not going to be no crazy thing. And what's interesting is if the merger ends up happening, it may be something to where the merger happens, like Sukuna loses against this climactic battle. Right before he's about to like give up, he does the merger before the switch of everything like that, and maybe that merger just from the jump just ends up killing Sukuna and then ends up just dispersing or something like that. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be something that is going to be quick and instant and completely not what it is that we think. And I think it has to do with what Kenjaku said. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, back at it with another video. Make sure you like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. On the road to 5K. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.